trip of a lifetime. You're going to see why this country is still the greatest country on earth. Because the next 4 days are a celebration of what all of you veterans, hold your hands up if you're a veteran of any era, any era.
It's been an incredible journey just from the moment that we left until meeting all these wonderful guys that and I think it's just, they call it VetsRoll. I call it an honor roll for myself. Just to be a part of this, I feel is a huge honor, and I probably will never forget it.
And also to the right, we have part of our motorcycle escort group. Someone give them a wave as we go by. How's that for express material? They got the lanes shut down for us there. Makes it a lot easier to stay together as a group. Speaking to one of the officers that was on that duty afterwards, he said that he has only ever seen that done one other time, and that was for a vice president when they were coming through town. So you guys are pretty high accord with the departments on here. How about this here welcoming committee here?
Oh, wow. Isn't that nice?
That also is an honor to have these people out there, especially during the cold, with all that wind blowing around there with flags and children, even little children waving. Great.
There was the kids standing a couple of places that we went, and they shook hands with us all. That was really great. And then, I think them little kids thought, well, these are really great guys, you know.
Hi, Steve. I'm Bill Miller. I'll show you a little something. Most people don't know how many quarters are in a dollar. Well, most people do. There's 4. And you probably like to see them. You fold it up like this. And here are the 4 quarters, which are very plain to see. 4 quarters. Now, you cannot spend that, but you can spend this. But it won't buy much today. $1 today is like a $20 bill. When I was a kid, $1 would buy 20 times what it does today. Well, thank you.
This trip has really been a godsend gift to me because I would have never gotten to Washington D.C. and see all the things we're going to be seeing. And we're going to be stopping at the Air Force Museum right now. And I'm really looking forward to that, seeing the different planes and the things they have. I've never been in the Air Force Museum before either.
I served in the Air Force for 4 years, and I was with a bomber that was a 36. I don't think it ever dropped a bomb, but it was quite a plane, which I finally seen it in this Dayton Museum. And that was the greatest joy because it brought back all these memories.
He bailed out, and I saw a plane go down like this. Then on the side of it, there's smoke coming. So I'm probably one of the few people my age that have actually seen a B-51 shot down. That was a cool plane.
Crew chief comes down the ladder and he looks at us, he goes, "Hey, somebody came out to see you. Take a look out the side windows." And we looked out, and there was an F-4 Phantom off our starboard wing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience.
Whoa.
I'm trying to see the one that I used.
Yeah, what did you use? It's an M3.
Browning M3. That Amtrak over there, first time I ever got scared was coming off of an LS D ship where you go up and dive into the water, and that thing weighs many, many tons. And I said, this thing is never going to float. And I'm looking out the peephole and the water's going, and I said, no. And we finally went down and down, and by golly, it did float.
The effort that so many people have contributed. I'm so amazed that so many people have done so much and organized it so well. The little things that they've thought of, name tags and treats and snacks and water, and it just goes on and on and on, and everybody is so friendly and wants to be helpful and just overwhelmed.
You get a poker card. Poker card. Hey, here you go. All right, your second card.
I needed that red floor over there.
Oh, here you go.
Really happy to be here. It's really impressive and an honor to be with a lot of these guys that served in World War II and Korea. Just proud to be with them. Like a band of brothers I didn't know I had. So seems like we all have a common thread, you know. Just our past that brings us all together. It's kind of refreshing to relive the old times.
Back in.
In the cons?
Back.
Yeah, we've been sharing a lot of stories together, a lot of sea stories about all the rough weather we've been through and that kind of a thing. But it certainly has been a wonderful experience with all the branches of service. We've all served our country and served it well.
Save the best for last. Hey! Thank you.
Just being with all these guys that are all have done something, you know. Yeah, there's nobody mentions rank. There's no rank here. You know, whether you're a private or you are a colonel, doesn't make any difference. I think the highest rank you can get is being a veteran. It's just been wonderful. I really like this.
I call your name. Please acknowledge so we know where you're seated, okay? Bill Hunter. Here. 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 Red Step. Here. Oh no. There we go. Bob Rader. Here. Leonard Lund. Yes. Army 1658866.
This is my little kid. I don't even know the kid. It just makes me want to cry.
I was in the Army 3 years. I was a radio teletype operator. They shipped me off to Germany. One night, the Russians or East Germans were trying to chop our signal up. It got so bad that we had to switch to Morse code. Well, I hadn't done it for over a year. Boy, by then it was about 5 characters, and I kept telling that, send slower, send slower.
I've met guys that I didn't know before. The guy across from me, he was in the Air Force, and he was a teletype operator with the old tape machine.
The search the frequency, and when we hear the dots and dashes coming through,
Joey, I remember 3 dits, 4 dits, 2 dits, da. You know what that is.
Right. I taught him that one too.
He's already taught me a bad word. It's the Morse code.
Sometimes they usually put a hole in front of it.
I am a former Marine, and how they singled us out, and the pride and joy that I felt is unexplainable. People just came up to me and thank you for your service, one after another. It's just, I was bursting with pride.
See people from all over the country doing different things in the service. And they appreciate one another. It's just something that I never expected to see.
We are now arriving at the World War II Memorial.
I was in the United States Navy during World War II. I was in the Armed Guard, which is a most unusual service. We were the gunners, signalmen, and quartermasters aboard the merchant ships. Normally, merchant ships don't have guns, but during wartime, guns are affixed to merchant ships so they can protect themselves. I was a gunner, and I was a captain of a 5-inch 51 surface gun. It would shoot a projectile that weighed about 50 pounds. It would shoot it for a range of almost 20 miles. I was on 3 different ships, actually. The last ship was a troop transport. It was the SS Fairland, and we carried 3,000 Marines for the invasions of Okinawa, Saipan, Tinian, and islands like that. In Okinawa, we took 3,000 Marines in there, and we were just one ship out of a convoy of probably 100 ships. We were in Naha Bay, and during the night, the Japanese would fly over with a reconnaissance airplane. Reconnaissance airplanes are very small, like Piper Cubs, and it has a motor in it. Sounds like a Maytag washing machine. All the ships started firing at this airplane. There must have been 100 ships in the harbor, and the gunfire was tremendous. And then it would be quiet, and we'd still hear that little airplane. Nobody could hit it, and everybody was laughing and laughing.
I was drafted in 1958, then I went to Korea. I landed in Incheon in the summertime, real hot and rainy, dry. So I got in the train and rode up to Panmunjom, up at the 38th parallel. And we took care of the Swiss and the Swede up there. You know, I used to go up there at the conference area every day, you know, and we've seen the North Koreans and the conference areas and the meetings they had. And it was really a bad situation. You know, the war went on for 3 years. It's unbelievable at how many GIs that died back then.
And this was all called rice paddies. Yep. Water, of course. Rice grows in water.
Yep. Shallow.
I did a 3 or 4 month tour in Vietnam, flying airborne command and control over Laos and doing radio TV broadcasts. We had 3 airplanes that had TV stations on board for Armed Forces radio and also Vietnamese television. As soon as the North Vietnamese station went off the air, our plane would be out there with a high-powered transmitter and would transmit on the same frequency everything that the South Vietnamese wanted to hear. The base was mortared in early 1966. You'd be surprised how big a hole a mortar can make in the top of an airplane. But they had it fixed pretty quickly. That was the plane I flew back from Vietnam on to take it back to overhaul. So
I had taught junior high in Berwyn, Illinois. And I had this one little skinny kid with glasses. And I'd holler at him, "Peter, sit down. Peter, leave the girls alone. Peter, don't do that." Well, Peter went into the Marine Corps because he liked me. But now, when I go to the wall, I go to the panel with his name. He was 19 years old at BFC when he was killed. Now he would be in his 70s. So, you know, when we go to the wall, I will ask again, you know, what panel is Peter Turka on? And I'll visit Peter.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Workman of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Commander of the Relief, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent. Thank you.
So the number that was at the last stop is lucky number 2. Oh, you got number 2? Awesome. All right, Don got number 2.
I just cherish every moment of it. And I can't wait when I get back to tell my kids all about this journey that I'm on. And all my friends and everybody. VetsRoll is going to be known in my area because I'm going to be talking about it for the rest of my life.
Pick 2 cards. All right, here you go. We're going to try and make a poker hand.
It's like Old Maid.
Old Maid.
We are on our way to Cleveland. Just a short 3-hour and 45-minute ride.
Because I got more that aren't in envelopes, but you bet.
Well, I had a brother-in-law that was in the Second World War. He went to Normandy and the Battle of the Bulge, and he passed away a couple of years ago. But he would never talk about the Second World War. You know, if it ever come up to conversation, he'd just get up and leave. But after
he came out to VetsRoll. That's on the second trip. He kind of opened up after that, and it was really interesting to hear him talk about it. All my brother-in-laws were in the Army, and my brother was. So this is kind of for all of them.
Off to the right here. See all them motorcycles? They're staging up over here. They're going to escort us in the boys.
Oh.
Remembrance of those that did get home. So in remembrance of them, we're going to take them back to Lloyd with us tonight too. I'm going to try to stay off this microphone as much as I can. There's a lot of action from here all the way up to Lloyd. You want to watch every overpass, every intersection.
Yep.
When we get close to home, it's going to be something to see. Okay? So welcome home, boys.
Look at that down there, Ross. Oh my gosh.
Take a look to the left there, and as we're clear out, look at the traffic they had backed up behind us heading north on 90. They're coming right underneath us right now.
They just released the traffic.
Probably think Mick Jagger's in town.
Good. That's great.
Fireworks up there.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,